right, man. Oh, that was a good lunch. That was a good lunch. Okay, I took a little break. Now I'm back on the road again. Uh, Everywhere across the world in other countries, they put the men first, man. They don't hand out a whole lot of opportunities to to women in those countries. Like Thailand, they put the men first, bro. The men always got the upper hand. They keep the women dependent on the man's money, man. You feel what I'm saying? Out here in America, we do not give a fuck about men, bro. Unless he's providing something, man. You feel what I'm saying? If he's providing something, that's when people give a fuck about you, bro. But you notice, man, if you ain't a provider, if you ain't like making a lot of money, if you're not useful, society don't have no use for you. You know what I'm saying? You know. Barking dog, man. But like I said, man, that's why men stay building stuff, man. That's why men stay getting money and stuff, because they don't give a fuck about you if you don't have money. This society is based on material possessions, material goods, you know, and you're a nobody if you don't have Marc Jacob. You're a nobody if you don't have Michael Kors. You're a nobody if you don't have Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton. Like, you're a nobody, bro. Everywhere across the world, they give a fuck about their men. Thailand, Philippines, Brazil. Now Brazil is starting to become more westernized, man. You know what I'm saying? Feminism is getting bad out there. You see what I'm saying? And Brazil. They just throw us under the bus, man. It's like every man for himself out here, man. As a man, you don't deserve love and sex unless you're in the top 20%. Then you deserve love, and then you deserve sex on a regular basis. That's why guys are struggling, man, because the guys who ain't making money, a lot of money, I mean, guys ain't owning nothing. You know, if you ain't part of that 20% of men, bro, you get no love, man. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, when the last time you got into a long-term relationship, you know? And I ain't talking about leftover women either. I'm talking about a real, authentic relationship with a woman that was young, basically. You know, when was the last time? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because once a man hit a certain age in society, he's forgotten about, man. If a man hasn't achieved anything in life, by the time he hit a certain age, he's invisible to society, bro. That's why you see a lot of expats, you know, a lot of guys going over to Thailand, the Philippines and stuff, you know, because they got tired of being treated like they didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And I've been hearing stories of guys just lonely as hell, bro, because they didn't achieve anything, really. They stuck with the same job their whole entire life. They might got a pension or something like that, but nowadays your pension don't mean shit, bro. By the time you get to be a certain age, you got to be a thousandaire or a millionaire to be visible in this society, bro. Because if you're still working that truck driver job, you know, and you retire, you know, truck driving, nobody gives a rat's ass, man. Nobody gives a rat's ass. You know what I'm saying? They only give a rat's ass if you became a millionaire, okay, or a thousandaire, making like 500 grand a year, 600 grand a year, 700 grand a year. That's when you start to become visible in society. If you're not a Chad or a Tyrone, but we're not gonna count them. Let's say you're an average man. If you ain't achieved anything, bro, your life is gonna be hell, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they don't give a damn about you, man. You know, they give women full rights too over you. You know, they don't care about the men in this country, bro. Like in other countries, you could tell like they put the men first. You know, because the women are still feminine. They got long hair and shit all the way down to their back. All the way down their back. Down to their lower back. You feel me? But here in America, man, the way we do men, it's real bad. They throw men up under the bus here in America, bro. You feel what I'm saying? They throw men up under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like in Thailand, the men come first, the lady boys come second, and then the women come last. You feel what I'm saying? In that order, bro. They don't put the women first like America does, man. This is like simp nation, bro. America is simp nation. I mean, bro, they might as well throw the simp on top of America, bro, and throw it on the flag too. We might as well put the word simp on our flag, bro. Simp America. America simp. Because we got so many simps in our countries, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got simps worldwide, man. You know, but they really over here in America, bro. I guarantee, if I was a woman, like I said, man, I wouldn't have been in my situation for this long. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta pick myself up by the bootstraps, bro. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pick myself up by the bootstraps and get my own self out. No, because nobody's coming to my rescue, bro. Nobody's coming to my rescue. I gotta do this all on my own. You feel me? I gotta do this all on my own. I can't depend on nobody to do this but me, man. You know, my mother didn't leave me nothing. You know, my dad didn't leave me nothing, man. They didn't leave us nothing. When they left the earth, they didn't leave me or my sister shit, bro. And that's why men, like I said, man, that's why men build things, man. Because nobody's gonna build it for you. Start building shit, man. That's why men go out there and get that bag, because you are not valued as a man if you are broke, bro. If you broke as a man, bro, you are not valued. The only ones who could get away with being broke is Chad and Tyrone. They're the only ones who can get away with that shit, bro. A motherfucker like you and me, average men, we can't get away with it, bro. Unless we're young. Like if we're like 21, 22, then they can see you broke. You know, they'll give you a pass. Okay, he's 21, 22. You know, I don't expect him to have anything. But once you get over 30, 35, 40, bro, that's when life starts to begin, bro. That's why, you know, if you had a good for something dad, you know, if you had a good for something dad, he would have taught you the ropes from a young age, man. You know, he would have taught you, look, they don't give a fuck about men out here, so we got to get you prepared. You know, start getting you towards your goals and your dreams early. You know, if you want to become a basketball player, you better make it to the NBA. You know, you better make it to the NBA. Ain't no room for failure, man. That's another thing, man. Ain't no room for failure for men, bro. Like, if we fail, we suffer. Women, they could afford to fail, man. You know, that's why I'm talking to my sister about none of my dreams and none of my goals. Because she don't know what it's like to be a man, you know, in society. In society, you gotta be, you know, achieving things. You know what I'm saying? As a man. In order to be valued. Okay? In order to be visible by women. You know. By the women you want, not the ones you don't want. I'm talking about by the women that you want. You gotta accomplish things. You gotta make things happen with no failure. A man can't afford to fail, bro. That's one thing they fixed it like that. You fail, you suffer. Forever. And ever, and ever, and ever. You feel what I'm saying? You suffer, man. If you fail. So you gotta understand something, man. Time is precious to a man. Because you gotta use all this time to build himself up. I wish I would have learned this when I was younger. Too busy chasing skirts, bro. I'm mad about that, bro. They had to learn that shit later in life. You feel me? Look how hard your life is compared to women. Look, my girlfriend, she moved on after we broke up in 2017. She moved on with a new boyfriend. And me, I had to get over her cold turkey. I couldn't even replace her, man. She found her a new boyfriend a year after we broke up. I still haven't found a new girlfriend. And that's been like 7 years ago. Yeah, I still haven't found a new girlfriend. See, her life is easier, man. I mean, I dated, had sex. It wasn't like I didn't have sex while I was dating. But look how easy it was for my girlfriend to find a brand new boyfriend versus me couldn't find a brand new girlfriend after that. See? You gotta be a Superman, bro, nowadays, man. You feel what I'm saying? Man, life has been hard, man. Why do you think I'm going crazy, bro? I'm losing my mind. My mental health has taken a toll, man. You know, this society has taken a toll on my mental health. That's what I meant. My bad. See, us men, like I said before, man, we can't just lift up our skirt and show a little leg and get a simp to take care of us, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that option, bro, unless we are Chad or Tyrone. You see, Chads and Tyrones, they're the top of the food chain when it comes to looks. So even celebrity females is gonna check for them. Or women with a lot of money, period, gonna check for them, bro. They are an exception to the rule, man. But me and you, the average men, we are not the exception to the rule, bro. We are the rule. You know what I'm saying? And there's no room for failure, like I said, man. No, you cannot, nope. Not even one time. You can't even think about failure. You have to think like, damn, I gotta make this happen. I can't afford to fail. You feel what I'm saying? If I fail, I'm gonna suffer forever, man. Until the day that I die, man. It's hot out here right now. I'm sweating. I had me some pho for lunch, man. It was good. You know, now it's back to the grind again. You see what I'm saying? So you have to always think about that, bro. You have to always think, like, I can't fail. I can't fail. Society won't allow it. Look what happened when you do fail. You know? The women talk about you real bad. They call you dusty, broke, good for nothing. Nobody wants to hang out with you. You know, especially when you get older. It seems like when you get older, you just stop having friends. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, I'm almost to my spot. Just remember, bro, society don't give a fuck about men, bro. They don't, like our society, man. All the other countries, they look out for the men, bro, of the country. You know what I'm saying? You know. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, man. I'm about to end this channel. I mean, not end this channel, my bad. I'm about to end this live. Just wanted to drop that jewels real quick. You know, just remember, bro, if you're not a builder, because men are supposed to be builders. Like, in this society, they put men as the builders. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we build everything. If a guy's not a builder, he gets punished. Meaning, no pussy for him. No women for him. You feel what I'm saying? If you're a complainer, you get left behind, bro. If you're a builder, then everybody gonna love you, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if you are a builder, you wealthy and stuff like that, man, you get all kind of love, bro. Everybody love a winner. That's why Diddy was surrounded by people, man, because he was a go-getter, man. You know, he was respected, man. You feel what I'm saying? He was respected. He had that money. He had that moolah. You feel me? You see how many people he's surrounded by? Diddy had his whole entire family, and Cassie, and his bodyguards, and his entourage. Had a gang of people around him, bro. Because he's a billionaire, man. Everybody love him. You know. But imagine if Diddy didn't go out and achieve them things, bro. He would have been alone right now. He would have been in his 50s. He would have been a nobody. He would have been invisible to women, bro. A 57-year-old man that's broke, you are invisible to women. But since he got money and status, he's still visible to females. That's why us men, I'm telling you, bro, we gotta get that bag at all costs. Because you become invisible after a certain age. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hear all these goddamn stories of these dudes, these expats going to Thailand, falling in love with some young, hot, tenderoni bar girl. And they saying in their own words, I haven't felt this good in years. I feel like I matter. I'm visible now. Because them women, they see you as a paycheck. Just like over here. They see you as a payday when you're older and you got some money. But I'd rather have myself visible than invisible. You know what I'm saying? The bag make you visible to a lot of females, man. Even if you're in your 40s and 50s. That's why I say get the bag at all costs. Because that's what's going to make you visible again, if you feel invisible. Or if you were invisible and you got older and then you became invisible. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of guys, they aged out of the game. They 50 and 60. They find a young hot tenderoni over there in Thailand and they can't believe it. They feeling like they born again and shit. They feeling like they 22, 23 again. You know what I'm saying? And then getting got for all your money over there. A lot of guys get their savings empty out by them young Thai girls. They start simping and spending because they've been invisible in America for so long. You know what I'm saying? Talk about I haven't felt visible in decades. I haven't felt like I mattered in a long time. Yeah, because all you got is a pension, bro. That's nothing over here, bro. A pension is not even a real accomplishment, bro. It's like you're stuck with something for 30 years, and now you got the pension. Basically, a retirement check. $2,000 or $3,000 a month. That's nothing, bro. $3,000 or $4,000 a month, depending on what state you in. You know what I'm saying? $3,000 or $4,000 a month is nothing. Nah, a man gotta achieve big goals, bro. Fuck all that. $3,000 or $4,000 a month. Like, nah, that's not achieving nothing, bro. You gotta be bringing in the millions, or at least the hundreds of thousands. You know, 500 grand a year, 600 grand a year. Then you're doing something. You know what I'm saying? You know, $500,000 a year. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's some good money. But some motherfuckers understand the concept of getting that bag, bro. Because they don't treat you good if you don't have money, bro. Men in society is not treated good at all if you don't have money. That's why so many guys go out there and get that bag, because they want to be treated good, man. They want to be living good. They want to feel like they matter, bro. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want to be invisible all the time to young, hot, tenderoni females. That gets old after a while. Anyway, I'm going to end this live. You guys have a good day. I'll be back on later. I'm out.